Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And as I said, this season we're about to push. So today is day number 3 in Legend League, and I want to show you guys a couple of my attacks which I did over there. Yesterday we were already in the top 10 in Germany. Let's see how far we can make it today. And well, guys, you know what, if you want to support me or my channel, the Gold Pass is ending really soon. So if you're considering buying the new Gold Pass, make sure to use the credit code iTzu if you want to support me, or if you're buying any of the offers or any gems in game, make sure to go in your settings, in more settings, and type this credit code iTzu in there. Thank you guys so much for the support, and let's get started with the first base. And actually, when I thought, like when I went, when I did the make the decision of pushing once again in Legend League, I was like, okay, let's just do it. It should not be too hard. The last time I was doing pretty good as well. But going in today, it's not that easy, to be honest. Like, there's so many new bases which I never have seen before, and there are so many annoying new aspects of already existing bases. For example, just this teaser base. The setup of this base is so annoying with all of those ground exposed, and I feel like it's even more ground exposed than when I stopped pushing. So it's pretty crazy. So what exactly is the idea, the approach of attacking this base? The idea is basically to avoid the sweepers as good as possible and try to encounter every single ground expo with as less damage, or with not that much damage on my queen if that's somehow possible. And the angle which I chose for this is like coming in from the right side, trying to do like this double layer wall break, and then get into the back of the Inferno Tower and of the Town Hall. That's kind of like the goal right now. Right now I'm considering, okay, maybe I should do a ram into the Town Hall and kind of opening up the rest of the base for my queen to enter everything. But then I saw, okay, the queen is going to go against their wall, is going to get the air defense and the multi-Inferno Tower. So I was like, okay, I don't have to do anything over here, basically. I just have to wait for my queen to do some smart things, and actually she's doing pretty good so far. Then I was a little bit lucky that this guy is using like one Ice Golem and Lava Hound, which is, if you're running a clan, or if you're running a base like this, never a good idea. You want to have those small trash CCs, like those mass archers with goblins. Those are way better. And then like the next thing, sending my king, sending in my siege barracks and everything into the town hall, freezing one time over there as well, because there's just so freaking much damage with all of the heroes. So I wanted to make sure that my king is surviving at least a little bit. And well, meanwhile, the queen is going through that wall. I'm raging her up one more time to make sure that everything is happening kind of fast, because so far I have 40% and it's still only like 1 minute left. So this is going to be really close on time. The rage wasn't placed that well. I should have placed it way more deep to make sure that, meanwhile, like while the queen is hitting the eagle, she is still in rage and everything. That would have been way better. Now checking at the bottom if I can already place some sort of cleanup, whatever, which is actually possible on this Tesla. And then one more wizard to place somewhere. I'm deciding to place it on the elixir collectors on the left side. I think I should have placed it on the right side a bit better. But well, let's see if we can somehow finish this, because this is getting freaking close. So the last defense is dropped, and we're using the Royal Champ ability. And due to that, everything is going on the left side, which is actually not the best thing, because now we have 10 seconds. This is so close. 5 seconds in the last 2 buildings, and the last second, this was like a millisecond decision. The Royal Champion ability nearly cost me that attack. But well, luckily we did that. So next base is this base, and this is kind of like a popular one. This is why I showcased this one on the thumbnail as well. And I saw so many top pushers are using this base, and this guy is normally always in the top 10 in Germany, or like maybe even like most of the time even the top 3. And so a lot of the high trophy players used this base the last season, and he seems to cover over, like he seems to still use it. And I just want to show you guys how I approach this base most of the time. And well, most of the time I try to charge the town hall. That's kind of the idea. And actually I never attacked this base, but I already saw it at some point watching some videos. And this is what I figured out would work pretty well against their base. And I tried to charge it into the town hall using the loons to funnel my queen into the town hall. But the queen is not really going into the town hall like after the elixir collector. She's going around instead, and this is now really messed up. I'm trying to freeze the clan castle in combination with the single inferno tower, but I'm completely missing the freeze on the one of the ice golems, which is really bad because now we have encountered the enemy clan castle and we already used the freeze spell. So this is right now super bad for us. I'm using now 2 Hawk Riders to tank for my queen to make sure that the Inferno Tower is not locking on my queen if possible. And now this is kind of the best thing about this base, or like kind of the worst thing at the same time, that you can actually reach the town hall from the outside. This is the reason why I had even a chance to try to save this. So taking down the town hall, which is good for us. And now on the right side, the king, siege barracks on the right side as well. And then the miners in between, kind of just spamming everything in. Even though it kind of looks like we didn't really got too much considering the queen charge. But the big thing about this is that the setup of this base is already kind of anti-queen charges, which means most of the traps are anti-Yeti smash. So if you take a look at the miners and Hawk Riders, take a look at how many of them are actually getting hit by a spring trap. So far, we have not lost a single miner or Hawk Rider to a spring trap, and this is kind of the important part about this, those hybrid attacks, that most of the bases are set up trap-wise to defend against Yeti smash instead of hybrid. So you have those spring traps placed on the outside around corners and stuff like that, where Yetis are most likely to trigger them. And I think we still haven't lost a single miner or Hawk Rider to a spring trap. So like I said, those spring traps are placed against Yetis and not against miners or Hawk Riders, and this makes those attacks so powerful. This means as soon as you're getting rid of the town hall, you have the most dangerous part taken out. Not only the building in itself, but everything, like all of the traps around there. Just if I would have seen the traps on this base, I would have predicted that at least 4 spring traps are in this tunnel compartment, and just by doing this entry, we dodged most of them. So this is how we can still triple those bases, even though the queen charge is not taking too much out, considering the actual power of the base. Now let's take a look at the next base, and this base looks pretty standard, to be honest. Like kinda the outside, like teaser town hall, but without having the focus too much on the town hall. Like, yes, the sweepers are pointing that way, but you don't have like all of the expos in behind. There are only 2 expos on each side and the 2 scatter shots. That's it, kinda. So it's not as bad as those really heavy teaser bases. So the idea of this base was, first off, let the queen decide which way she wants to go, help with the loons to funnel her to make sure that she's staying on that side, taking out the right side Tesla with my loons. And now I try to wall break in. The reason why I haven't wall breaked in yet before into the town compartment is kind of simple. The reason behind that was that I wanted to have already access to the next compartment, kind of. If I would have wall breaked into the bottom side, it's always a bit more tricky to funnel if you wall break into a corner. So it's way more easy if you wall break in like this, and you can control way better where the queen is actually going. So this is why I decided, okay, let's wall break in over there to save a couple of wall breakers. Would have been way more easy, obviously, with super wall breakers. And now the decision which I made is first the siege barracks and then the king. Why exactly did I do that? I want to have my own king facing the enemy king. And with this being said, I have to use my king kind of far at the top side, because I felt like if I use it more on the bottom, like what this P.E.K.K.A right now is doing on the left side of on your screen, it's going against the wall. If I would have done that with my king, he would have done the exact same. So instead I had to place him a little bit higher to make sure that I have like this king on king encounter, to make sure that I can take out the enemy king by just using my king ability. Meanwhile, in the core, everything is getting taken out. I'm using most of my heal spells kind of early on, as long as my troops are really grouped up. And now the queen at the bottom is still doing her thing, out of danger, tanking this one expo. Royal Champion with her abilities still set up. And this is by far, like, this is going to be by far the biggest overkill of the attacks which I showed you today. And yeah, it's pretty one-sided. Let's put it like this. So Royal Chain ability, taking out the last defenses. And this is going to be the triple. So what we take and what we do next, let's take a look at exactly where we finished the day, or like where we are at right now after those attacks. So let's check it out. Like I said, yesterday we were in the top 10 in Germany. I think today we haven't done too great, so top 24, which isn't too bad. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed today's video, let me guys know down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys back tomorrow for another one. See you guys until then, and bye bye.